I'm heading out to Minnesota, leaving Venice Beach in the Rivian. We will see what it's like to try to drive the Rivian EV halfway across the country. Here we go!
Feels so sweet, so electric. This could be some kind of magic.
93 degrees out in Barstow, California right now. The highway assistive driving on here, which basically drives autonomously for you on the highway, is just indispensable on a trip like this. It's like, it saves so much energy. It's fantastic. So that so far I think is really it's my favorite part of driving the Rivian on this trip so far. This is my first time ever using the Rivian Adventure Network chargers. They're great. I'm the only person using them. I plugged in, they immediately started working, no payments set up or anything necessary. The car told me to stop here, charge for 14 minutes, and then continue on. And I went into Starbucks, got a latte, came back out, and you can see here now that the display says that I need to resume my trip in 3 minutes. So I've barely had time to go to the bathroom and get coffee, and I'm gonna have to start driving in 3 minutes now. So far, this charge is taking me no more time than a gas stop would.
Bring the heat like a Malibu summer. Staring at me, you're a stone cold stunner. Feel the beat, turn it up. I know you wanna be free. I know you wanna be. So sweet, so electric.
I'm driving through Vegas right now. I just charged the Rivian for 34 minutes at a mall that had a yard house. Plugged in the car, at more Rivian Adventure Network chargers. By the time I could get back to the car, I had charged the car more than I needed to get to my final destination. These fast chargers are so fast that, gosh, even if I didn't charge it overnight, like, who cares? If there were a fast charger in the morning, I could charge for 30-40 minutes and head out. Leaving the Hyatt Place here in St. George, there were 2 charging stations at the hotel, but they were full last night. When I woke up this morning, I had some work meetings to do, and there's a Tesla supercharger right across the street. So during those work meetings, I charged the car to 70%, so that didn't waste any time because I would have had to do those meetings with the car stopped anyway. Here I am in the middle of nowhere, Beaver, Utah. Rivian's new Tesla supercharger. With this adapter. The only weird thing about it is that the cords on these chargers are so short that if there's not an empty space next to it, you can end up with not being able to use the charger because it won't reach to the other side of the car. Beans and Brews, which is a Utah Starbucks basically, gives me nightmares of Vernal, where I stayed for a summer working on Secrets of Skinwalker Ridge for History Channel. The software upgrades to the Rivian over the last couple of years have been really great. Integrating Apple Music, Audible, directly into the system. The maps work way better than they used to. Everything about it screams like best electric car software in class for sure. So good that now there's all this polished stuff that I want them to do. So for example, if I tap on music now, it takes a while to bring it up, like, I don't know why. And then I was last listening to alternative 90s, which is here, great, but it should come back to exactly where I just was, so I could just hit play and listen to that same music. Instead, I have to go recently played, and then it has to load that, and then it doesn't remember which track I was on. So they're not remembering the state between music apps is pretty bad. And I tap here, and so now it's playing 90s alternative. Fine. But you can also see it's taking a while to bring up that track, and that's because it's getting it over the internet, which is fine, but since I've been listening to this, it should cache, if not the entire playlist, at least the next 10 tracks, so that if I lose phone coverage for 20 minutes, it still can keep playing. If I lose coverage, the next song it immediately stops, which is annoying. I've heard that swig is like coffee and drugs for Mormons, so since I'm at BYU, I thought I would check this out. Just left BYU, and swig, the soda place that Mormon wives love. Although I'm confused because I thought it was because they can't have caffeine, so they like soda, and they can't have alcohol and caffeine, so they get soda instead, basically sugar. But now I realize they can have caffeine. They serve Coke and Dr. Pepper there. It's just they can't have hot drinks and alcohol. So soda is neither hot nor alcohol, but it does and can have caffeine. Anyway, driving into the mountains now, leaving Provo and heading toward Wyoming and Grand Teton National Park and Yellowstone National Park. Driving by the Grand Tetons now. Super beautiful. Just an amazing view. Here I am at the National Elk Refuge outside, and it is absolutely beautiful here. There's a fully unobstructed view of the entire Grand Tetons here, and it's really beautiful. It would be nice to just camp here. So I slept in the car last night because all the hotels in Jackson are really expensive, and I was kind of hoping to camp at least one night on this trip anyway. So I drove into this elk preserve, as you do. At first I thought the car was making weird sounds, but now I think I'm hearing the sound of elk. The right side of the car is much higher than the left side because it can make itself flat no matter where you park, basically. So I parked somewhere where the right side of the car was downhill. So now driving, it's been like this, and as it's resetting its height. I'm in Jackson, Wyoming now at a street fair. I'm just walking around before I head out to Yellowstone. The car is charging. I'm charging more than usual right now because of the long drive through Yellowstone. Here, driving toward Yellowstone, there's some bison out here. Here I am in Yellowstone National Park. It's right at the beginning of July, so there's a million people here.
Mom, it's floating again! Good.
Just came out of the north entrance of Yellowstone National Park. Absolutely amazing. It's more like Alaska here than the southern part. The Yellowstone River is below me. The good news is this is a super fast charger, and I could leave within 10 minutes if I wanted. The bad news is that I was planning a little bit of a longer drive in Yellowstone, and I went in the park with enough power to do so, but then I screwed around a lot more than I expected and didn't have enough charge to do the extra drive through the Beartooth Highway that I was imagining doing. So I had to leave through the north entrance to come to another charger instead. So normally that might have annoyed me a little bit, and it is one of the things that can be difficult about having an electric car, is that there just wasn't a place in the park to do a fast charge. That might have put a small kink in my day, except for the fact that I was so tired of driving through the whole park anyway that I probably wouldn't have done that even if I had enough charge. I'm in Billings, Montana. I just drove through the city to get to this Tesla destination charger. This is the first time I've ever seen a Tesla supercharger with no one else at it. Incidentally, as I was driving through Billings, I saw 3 separate oil refineries. So basically the economic engine of this area, and possibly most of Montana, is oil refining. And so I wonder if that is somehow related to the fact that no one has an electric car to use this Tesla destination charger. I'm in Miles City, Montana. For some reason, I left the last charging station when it told me I had enough. I did make it here, it's true, but there was only 3% of battery with 6 miles of cushion, and that freaked me out. I do not like that little cushion, and I don't know why it gave me so little cushion. I think it tends to underestimate how much power is going to be used if you're driving very fast and then slightly over the speed limit. So like in Montana, the roads, almost all the roads are 80 miles per hour, and then I go 85 miles per hour, and I think that really uses more power than it expects. It's the morning of day 4. Got a good night's sleep for the first time. The Rivian's charged to 100% because there was a Tesla supercharger right in this Holiday Inn parking lot. So now I'm going to head toward Theodore Roosevelt National Park, which is just an hour from here. Hello.
Hello. Thank you. Do you want a map?
Yes, please. Here I'm driving through Theodore Roosevelt National Park in North Dakota. Last leg, the Minnesota trip should get there tonight. It's been a very nice trip. Kind of wish I visited more national parks now, because it's been really nice just driving through them, even though I would rather be backpacking in them. It was really nice seeing parts of Yellowstone that I'd never seen before. Grand Tetons is beautiful, and I'm positive I've never been to Theodore Roosevelt National Park, and it's really nice here. Next stop, the Enchanted Highway, North Dakota. I'm in Bismarck, North Dakota. Once again, a completely empty Tesla charger. Basically, all the cars that I see in North Dakota, Montana, are all huge Ram Dodge pickup trucks or F-150s, all running on gas. I almost never see electric cars. The decision the charger companies made to put chargers in mall parking lots a lot of the time was a great idea. I'd much rather be able to get a bunch of shopping done while I charge instead of being stuck at a gas station. But the chargers being at American malls also is a stark reminder of the way the United States grew into a country that is hostile to pedestrians and is just not a great place to live once you're outside of your car. And this is a perfect example. there is a Starbucks right over there. I just went to it to get coffee. But I had to walk through this entire mall parking lot over 2 green medians and past the entrance ramp to this parking lot and then across another parking lot to get to the Starbucks. There's no sidewalk. I know I'm hypocritical for saying this since I'm driving a Rivian across the country right now, but American car culture is really bad. Second to last charging stop. Here I am in Fargo, North Dakota. Also, no one here at the Tesla charger, although I did see one Tesla here a little bit ago. All I can say is the internet says the Bar and Grill across the street is the 7th best restaurant in Fargo. It is not a good restaurant. Well, this is it, the last charging stop of my trip to Minneapolis in the Target parking lot. Tesla charger, it's 11:30 at night. There's one other Tesla here. Fitting because Target is headquartered in Minneapolis. My only disappointment is that it's too late for Target to be open, otherwise I'd go in and get some food.
Feel the beat, turn it up. I know you wanna be free. I know you wanna be.
It's the morning after I arrived in Minneapolis driving the Rivian all the way from Los Angeles, and the verdict is that the Rivian is an awesome road trip car. Driving is just effortless with the assisted driving system. There's a lot more room to sleep in the back than there was in my Bronco, and I had no trouble finding fast, available, reliable chargers. It's clear that the charging infrastructure in the US has matured a lot in the last few years. My only real complaints are that the range estimates are a bit too optimistic when you're driving at high speeds, and I really wish the Rivian app would show you a list of restaurants and stores that you could go to next to the chargers while you're charging. Yeah, I spent a little more time charging than I would have if I were gassing up, probably about 30 minutes for every 6 hours of driving. But honestly, it just made the trip more chill. I took real breaks and it was just less of a grind. So what about you? Have you ever done a big EV road trip? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and when you get a chance, like and subscribe to see where I go next.